everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio, 250 plus markets across the United States of America, and of course, ESPN Radio on Sirius XM, Channel 80. Number to call up as always is 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. It's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts. We all know what time it is today. I understand that Super Bowl 52 is upon us, less than 2 weeks away. A rematch of what took place in Super Bowl 39 between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots. There's a lot of stuff to get into. I understand that. I understand we got to get into Des Bryant. Tweets from T.O. The Cowboys somehow, some way have made news. And you've got people talking about that. I get all of that. Basketball front, Jason Kidd's fired. We got to talk about that. Basketball front, Damian Lillard has a meeting with owner Mr. Allen, Paul Allen. We got to talk about that. But we all know what the story of the day is. It's the drama, the soap opera, General Hospital, or Young and the Restless style. Pick your spot. It's the soap opera stuff that's going on within the organization of the Cleveland Cavaliers. According to numerous reports, NBA insider extraordinaire Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, my colleague here, he will be on with us, by the way, in about 27 minutes. But he's one of the people that wrote the story about how the Cleveland Cavaliers had a meeting and everybody went in on Kevin Love and how folks weren't happy with Kevin Love. Why could you possibly have a problem with Kevin Love? It's very, very simple. Love, they felt didn't give them any love. Because while the Cleveland Cavaliers was in the midst of getting spanked, ramrodded, beat down, embarrassed by the Oklahoma City Thunder, scoring, by the way, 124 points on Saturday afternoon and still losing by 24. They gave up damn near 150 points, 148 to be exact. Because the Cleveland Cavaliers did that, and they were getting spanked, they had a problem because after the game, they came into the locker room, and guess what? Kevin Love was already gone. Kevin Love had left the game and was home chilling. He left. He was home, and they felt like he just left them there hanging. In their eyes, even in the eyes of somebody like LeBron James, who gets along very, very well with Kevin Love from what I'm told, even in the eyes of somebody like him, it's the equivalent of getting into a street fight with one of your boys, and then you leave your boys and desert everybody. That's how everybody was looking at Kevin Love. Let me tell you how you should be looking at Kevin Love. If you want to look at that, because I like Kevin Love. And I happen to believe that Kevin Love is the second best player on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's the second most reliable player on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think Kevin Love has been a walking double-double. I think for the most part, he shows up and produces. I think that, believe it or not, he finds himself in an untenable situation. And I'm going to go places that most people ain't going to go. Damn it, because I can. Kevin Love, being a baller who happens to be white, might have a problem being around these brothers with the problems that they have. Not a brother. You don't care about that. I'm talking about these particular brothers with all the drama circulating in Cleveland. You got LeBron James that don't want to commit to a long-term deal. You got Isaiah Thomas that's looking to get paid and trying to find his bearings after being out with the hip injury. You got J.R. Smith, who's trying to remember how to be a shooting guard. You got Tristan Thompson, who's associated with the Kardashians. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not getting into his personal business. But the Kardashian curse is something that has been talked about on numerous occasions. And the reality of the situation is he hasn't played that well. Now, in my mind, Tristan Thompson is a role player who has been a starter, and he's a reserve trying to learn how to be a reserve, and that's problematic. And caught in the midst of all of that is a coach in Tyronn Lue who's been a sacrificial lamb, a GM who's a rookie, for an owner who thinks he knows more basketball than the players. And when you combine that with the fact that LeBron James is entering the last year of his deal and he's free to leave this summer, and he didn't want Kyrie traded because he didn't like the deal for Isaiah Thomas and Jamie Crowder and those boys. And you couple all of that with the fact that Dan Gilbert said, okay, if that's what you want, then commit to me long term, 3 to 5 years, and I'll keep Kyrie. But if you're not going to do that, I'm going to look towards the future. I'm not going to think about you. I'm going to think about life beyond you because I'm going to anticipate that you're leaving. And LeBron said, so be it. Do what you got to do. So all of that going on just makes for the drama. Just makes for the drama that exists. That's what happens. Now, we can sit up there and say, well, we're not going to cast blame, or we're going to cast blame to this player, to that player. J.R. Smith's got to shoot better. I don't want to hear any complaints about Dwayne Wade. He's a 3-time champion, a future Hall of Famer who was more than willing to go to the bench because obviously that will help J.R. get his confidence back. I don't want to hear about Kevin Love because he is what we thought he was. He can shoot. He can rebound. That's what he does. And we all know it. Stop it if you're trying to say otherwise. Tristan Thompson, he's got to play better, but he is a role player. Isaiah Thomas, look, he is what he is. The brother can score. And when healthy, he could average 20 to 25 a game. And when healthy, he's a scoring dynamo. But he's miniature. As a result, he can't defend most people in the NBA because he's not some Muggsy Bogues type that's pressuring the ball 94 feet. He's got to defend in a half-court setting. And most, if not everybody in the NBA can shoot over him. That's a problem. He's strong as a pit bull, but he's short. And as a result, he's limited defensively, which doesn't help with the Cleveland Cavaliers because unlike Golden State, the Cleveland Cavaliers don't do a great job of covering one another defensively. And we didn't even get into all of the agendas. You got JR wanting to be a starter and a bit salty because he bust his tail in the offseason to work himself into being as good as he could possibly be, in part anyway, to appease LeBron. And then the minute Dwayne Wade came, he felt like he was on the outside looking in. That was a problem. You got the combination of him and guys like Iman Shumpert. Some people feel getting paid too much. I got love for both of them. I think they do their jobs. So you got that going on. You got Isaiah Thomas who deserves his money, but might not deserve it from this particular franchise. Tyronn Lue's job may be in jeopardy. And of course, you got the rookie GM. And they're all caught in the middle of LeBron and Dan Gilbert being on the outs with one another again. I mean, what an absolute mess it is in Cleveland, Ohio with this basketball team. You just can't make it up. You just can't make it up. 888-729-3776 is the number to call up. This 888-729-3776, 888-SAY-ESPN. The other item I'm going to get into is Jason Kidd being fired. Ladies and gentlemen, the team wasn't achieving as much as it should. With the Greek Freak, with Brogdon, with Bledsoe and others, maybe they should have been better. But my God, you can't give it time? You can't give it time. Just going to get rid of Jason Kidd just like that. I don't think it's right. But it's perfectly within Milwaukee's prerogative to do what they're doing. Here's what I really have a problem with. Jason Kidd's lost his job. Fizdale and Memphis has lost his job. Watson and Phoenix has lost his job. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the African-American coaches that exist, the Doc Rivers, the Tyronn Lues of the world, the J.B. Bickerstaffs with his interim tag. Ladies and gentlemen, at the rate things are going, by the end of this season, there may only be 2 black coaches in the entire NBA. Dwayne Casey in Toronto, who's one of the most fabulous coaches in the league. And, of course, Nate McMillan in Indiana. Everybody else might be gone. Tyronn Lue might be gone. Doc Rivers might be gone. J.B. Bickerstaff might be gone. I mean, what the hell is going on here? You got numbers crunchers and analytics dudes who are friends with other analytics dudes. Evidently, none who happen to be black. Basically invading the NBA by ingratiating themselves with owners who understand numbers better than they understand the game and are more than willing to give those folks an opportunity that they're not going to accord to other people. There is something wrong going on here, and I'm going to tell you what's wrong. Where the hell are all of these black players speaking up about this issue? Where's the support? We want to speak against the president. We want to speak about social issues. We want to come to the end, to the defense of things that may have nothing to do with us. We want to use our Twitter and Facebook and Instagram accounts. But when it comes to the issue of black coaches and the challenges that they face, in a league that's over 70% black. We haven't heard a damn word from these players. And I'm not counting LeBron and D Wade speaking up for Fizdale, because Fizdale was an assistant coach in Miami. That's one of their boys. And I appreciate their support, but that's just support from the peanut gallery. That's your man. And you giving him love. I'm talking about the issue of the dissipating number of African-American coaches in a sport of basketball. This ain't the National Hockey League or Major League Baseball. This is basketball. And cats who never played, but no numbers, are taking over this league. And the Fred Hoibergs in Chicago, and the Dave Yeagers in Sacramento, and the Brett Browns in Philadelphia, and others keeping their jobs, while African-American coaches are falling by the wayside. No one has a problem with that? You're a black NBA player, you have nothing to say about that? Nothing. But you got time to talk about the president or something.